computer. Okay.
Are you recording?
It's recording now. So yeah. So welcome, Christina, to the call. I'm so rapt that you could do this. I know it's about 11 p.m. over in Canada right now, so I really appreciate you staying up, which is a little bit like me, and probably a lot of us, we stay up late because we get excited about what we do, so it's not such a big problem, but I'm glad we could hook up, and just want to welcome you to this call, and I thought it'd be just wonderful to see some of our team can actually see you and find out what you do before we actually get to meet you in person next month, which we're really super excited about. And if it wasn't for Christina, we wouldn't have got Tamia as well here. So I would love to know kind of, all about you and what it is you do and how you connected with Tamia and how this event and how you found the event really is helpful in your business by holding these events, kind of running it alongside Tamia like this, how it's been for you, because I know you talked a lot about the transformational training and how that's really helped your distributors. So we're super excited, and I'll just let you take the floor. Any questions in the chat room, guys, for Christina, and just look forward to your story.
All right, so thanks, Callie, for organizing this call, and hello, everybody. I assume that all of them are your team, right, Callie?
Yeah.
Okay.
Teams and teams.
Callie's team. Okay, I know that we're going to meet very shortly, probably in 6 weeks, right? November 24th is the date, right? So let me introduce myself. My name's Christina. I'm based in Toronto, Canada. And obviously, I originally am from Hong Kong. And I have been here for like over 20-something years. I'm sure that all of us are joined here on this platform all because of one reason, because of water, because of energy, right? And and according to statistics, 95% of us join energy is only because we want to get healthier. It's just that when we get healthier, we want to share that excitement. We want to share the goodie with the people around us, right? So therefore, we when we share it, we got the financial perspective. We just get extra pocket money, and then eventually we find that hey, it's a good cause, you know what? And it is a good deed, and also is a good wealth. And that's how we want to do more instead of just being sharing the water, but how about we turn it into a construct, business. I didn't start it off because I want to do the business. No, I'm just like 95% of the people out there by energy statistic. I got the machine all because I want to get better water for my family. Okay, I wasn't even considering about ourselves. Imagine this: majority of us, we wouldn't mind to spend huge dollar amount of money for your family and friends, in particular for your family, right? In particular for your children or your parents, right? But yet we often, if the target is ourselves, we often say no. I will save the money. I can do this and that, but no, we are not going to spend that much money on a water machine. It's just a water machine, what they expect, right? So I'm just like most of the people. I was just like most of the people. I got the machine only because I want to give better health for my parents. My father was having diabetics, high blood pressure, gout, all those classic, I call it Asian disease.
Yeah.
I think it's in our diet. Asian disease, it always happens. I don't know why it always happens in 3. It's always so true. And my mom was having arthritis pain. There's a reason to it. There's always a trace. There's always a reason for any disease. This is what I learned, and what I know by now is that we were running restaurants for 15 years. They do even longer than me. I was in the restaurant business for more than 15 years. Before that, I was a marketing manager, PR manager, as well as working in the advertising industry for a good 5 years before I move on to manage my own family business. So day in, day out, 15 years, we were doing that. We have, at our peak, we have 3 restaurants, authentic Chinese restaurant. We have 2 banquet facility. We still have 1 left now because my father decided to retire. And our banquet facility is not a small one, but it can actually seat 1,200 people. So it's a mega one. So day in, day out, like most of the people, when we're working for our job or for our business, we try to give it all in, right? We are dedicated people. We focus so much on building what we need to build in terms of our career. We forgot to build our health, right? So I guess that's the reason why my family was having, or my parents was having those not too severe, but kind of like common disease. So when I was introduced about this water, hey, I figure and I actually witnessed it, how it changed a dog from having cancer to having no cancer in 3 months. So I figure, you know what, I would never want my parents to have that big C, right? So I figure, hey, if we can help a dog, it could be a good prevention for my parents. That's why I got the SD5 one for my parents. It back then it was $4,000 Canadian. I give it in one shot, so I got one for my parents. And I live with them, right? And you know, like majority of us, we took our health for granted. I did the same thing. I still continue drinking bottled water because I think it's totally not cool to bring my bottle with me day in, day out. Come on. Like I'm working 24/7. There's really no way that I can carry the water with me, right? I left home at 7 o'clock in the morning and then I wouldn't go home until probably 11 o'clock at night. But anyways, long story short, end up a year after I got the machine, I was diagnosed with something. Okay, I always tell people that I got the machine for my parents, but end up I was the biggest beneficiary because end up I had something called salivary gland tumor. I was diagnosed with that. Anyways, long story short, I was put on steroid. The steroid made me super weak. As majority of people you may know, if you research about just steroid, whoever they take steroid is a very interesting, or I should say a very dangerous medication because it will stay in your liver and kidney. You never know when the time bomb is going to expand. Mm-hmm. So anyways, that steroid made me super weak, and then I was trying to research about what can I do and what could I do, right? Even though I was so low in activity level, I was laying on bed the whole time in the first few days to the point I couldn't even control my pee. Anyways, I was trying to figure out what I could do, and when I was laying in the bed, I was super depressed. I was figuring what can I do, and I recall that the reason I got the machine is because of cancer prevention, right? Because as all we know, we have read the book Killing Cancer Not People. We have read the article from AACI. We all know that it helped. It's not healing, but it helped. It helped our water to put a better defense. So I figure out, hey, you know what? Maybe I should reach out to the water. That's when I start to really think in 2 liters of water, 2 liters of Kangen to my body. And that actually surprised me because I didn't realize it would do me that good because I start to re-energize. So I start to try that another day. I'm just getting better and not worse, right? And then the more I research about steroid, the more I research about the ERW, I figure out, you know what, I should stop the steroid and I should change my whole diet. I should change my emotions. I should change my water. And actually by making those changes, by deciding to take control back the health in my own hand, I actually, my salivary gland, the tumor in there actually shrank down significantly from 5 centimeters to 3 millimeters. Very significant. Wow. It's huge in just 3 weeks. I can tell you that 3 weeks. Anyways, long story short, that's when I start to really to share the water with people. I wouldn't give you my whole story. I would do that when I'm in Australia. But anyways, fast forward, I didn't do it full time at all. I didn't. Yeah. It wasn't until 2.5 years ago that's when I started to really do it full time because it was a calling. I figured, hey, you know what? Back then, 2.5 years ago, I was actually migrating as a fundraising director for a charity, which I was doing rebranding and fundraising for a charity. Anyways, so I decided, hey, you know what, instead of serving just one mission, how about I serve a bigger community? And that's when I started to do full-time for Enagic. And that's what actually give me a chance to actually interact with more and more people that allow me to travel along. So back then, 2.5 years ago, I was doing part-time. I'm becoming 6A, and now I'm a 6A2-2 running on 6A4-3. This is what I'm running on, and it should happen in the probably next 3 to 4 months, I believe. Wow. We're working on that. And I'm also the company's certified master trainer. I just help them to organize another, actually one of the biggest certified trainers training in North America. And actually one distributor by the name of Joe from Australia was also in that certified trainers training in Zoe. So anyways, just to give you guys a little idea what certified trainers training is all about, it's actually a program that's run by Enagic. It's being facilitated by a gentleman called Mr. Isobe. He is actually at the same level as Tony Robbins, if you know who Tony Robbins is. But he's just a Japanese version of it. Tony Robbins and him actually follow the same teacher, learn from the same teacher. But this gentleman actually is already 73 years old, 73. But yet, when he got on stage, he does not even use microphone.
Wow.
So when he facilitates 100 people, I can tell you that that's not a problem. It's a 4-day back-to-back training. So imagine this round, we have a very impressive result. He speaks Japanese. We have a translator who is actually the general manager of Enagic Canada, translated simultaneously. Imagine that just speaking Japanese, and we just hear translation, and we find that at least 80% of people was transformed.
Yeah, wow.
The reason that I mentioned about that training is all because that training, actually, this is already the 3rd training I went to. I went to that training not because I want to get a new destination. Before I entered the recent one, I was already a certified master trainer. I entered this one, first of all, because I want to support Second Voice, because every single time I find that I was transformed slightly. Magdalene. And I still remember the first time I joined these trainings when I met Tamia, which is around two and something years ago, when we're in New York. That's when Tamia and I started to learn about each other, know about each other, and I was super impressed by her. I'm sure that all of you are impressed by her, especially her Facebook Live that she's doing every Tuesday. She inspired me a lot. She's like a mother to me, even though she's just a few years older than me, but she's like a mother figure to me. What I've learned from her is that continuous learning is how we can get better. Yeah. So recently, she also get her new destination as a life mastery consultant, being trained under Bob Proctor's team, Mary Mercy, which is just focusing on transformational coaching. So, being that said, for having her coming to Australia on November 24th and 25th,
New Zealand, sorry.
Sorry, what did I say? I don't remember what I said. Okay, to New Zealand on 24th, 25th, what you're going to feel or what you're going to experience is not just, well, obviously day one, we're going to focus on Enagic. Okay, on day one, what you're going to see is that I'm going to do a demo for you. I'm going to also give you some water demographic, global statistic about what is the antioxidant trend, what is the alkaline water trend, what is hydrogen water trend. I'm going to give you those statistics. So therefore, when you try to tell people about our machine, everything makes more sense, right? We're going to have John, who's going to share with us the compensation power, the finance power, the wealth power of Enagic. And obviously, we're going to get probably around 2 hours of Tamia, right? 2 hours or more with Tamia on this first day. What I asked her to, what Tamia and I talk about is that, as some of you may know, or some of you may not know, is that she was actually the first female $1 million earner.
Wow.
In Enagic North America, who made $1 million in the first year joining Enagic.
It was in her first year. Wow.
Very first year. Let's backtrack a little bit. Let's backtrack a little bit more. 12 years ago, that's when she joined. Okay. And what happens was that back then, there's nothing that you don't imagine. 12 years ago, there wasn't YouTube. There wasn't any video. There wasn't even any standard materials. All you have was Japanese. The most that you have is the Dr. Shinya columnoscopy video, that super fussy one that you found on YouTube right now. No translation, nothing. Okay, nobody would teach how to do the pH. And I still remember one story that she shared with us is that back then when she was doing that book that I was sharing with you, Kelly, that I sent over to you, it was printed, the very first version was printed in black and white.
Oh, wow.
Imagine that pH chart was in black and white, but she still managed to get the first $1 million in the first year. But she honestly, here's the fun part is that day one when she got the machine, she never thought of doing the business at all. She didn't even want to deal with it. But it's just that once you just go back to her Facebook Live, you'll probably hear her story over and over again. I can send you a link of one of the interviews that she did, so you can know more about her. And back then, it's all because she figured out, hey, after seeing all those pH tests, oh my God, those acidic thing is going to hurt our body so much, in particular her son, because her son was mentally retarded, right? That's what the doctor said when the son was first born. So she figured, hey, you know what? If that can help my son, might as well do it. But she was broke. $4,000 is very expensive for her. But she still managed to pull it out and got the machine, only because she wanted to get better water for her son. But she was involved with another network marketing company back then. She didn't really start it until she was a 4A, because her upline was actually helping her to build and stuff like that. Yeah. But yeah, she still managed to pull it out. So once you go all in, just like when we're doing all in for our business, all in for our other job, all in for our career, same thing, same application apply for energy. Yeah. If you go all in, things will happen. So this is exactly what happened. She has her ups and downs, but anyhow, she managed to be 6A 12-4, if I remember right. 12-4, right? Yeah. So therefore, we're going to get her to share with us on the first day how she made the first $1 million. Nice. So therefore, she's going to share her strategy with everybody. Yeah. She's going to share some statistic. Probably you rarely heard people mention to you about is that how, when we're building our team, which level shall we start to hands off and let the team run? Which rank should the team be, or should that individual be before we let go of that? So she's going to share statistic and strategy, how she get up to where she is right now.
Structure, right?
Structure, absolutely, structure. And how she's even going to show you her ROI, return of investment, like in terms of like how much you're going to make by doing this and that. Oh, wow. She's going to show you all that. So it's a PowerPoint that she's going to share. Okay, so that's day one. And then day two, you'll be getting all her. That will be something what we call Build Your Dream Transformational Training. It's one of her signature, what I call Step In Transformational. It will be from 9 to 5. You're getting a full day of her. Okay, it has nothing to do with energy, because I believe it does not matter it's called energy or what something else. It's all about personal development. If our mind is strong, if our heart is strong, we can actually overcome anything, which is true, right? I was actually listening to a podcast today. It's quite interesting. There was a doctor by the name of Dr. Daniel Amons, right? He was saying that, if you can change your mind, you can basically change your fortune. You can change everything. Yeah. You can change everything. Yeah. And people didn't know one thing is that our mind is actually 80% water. That we know. We know that it actually consumes around 40% of the nutrient we take day in, day out. But mind you that our mindset can be trained. It's not encrypted. It can be trained. So one of actually Tammy's background is that she's actually brain and body trainer. Yeah. She got that background way back. I'm talking about almost like 8-10 years ago. Okay. So on November 25th, what everybody is going to get is that it's going to get a piece of that, and as well as a piece of her new coaching program. Okay. It's called the Build Your Dream Training, which is very short of her whole series of training that she's doing right now around the world. And so on that day, you're going to get something. I couldn't say too much because it's quite an interesting event. Yeah. But the whole thing is that I can tell you that it's something that she will share with you, she will show you, and she will equip you with some skills that you are going to be able to get results just after that day. Perfect. You will feel different. Your cells will feel different. Your brain will have a shift, I call. Mm-hmm. And day in, day out, there's practice that you can work on yourself and just get yourself stronger, I call. right?
Yeah.
So this is what the second day is about. I can also tell you one thing. Even though we're just doing Build Your Dream training, I can tell you that after that day, you'll be exhausted.
Yeah. Yeah.
I couldn't tell you so much, but this is something that I can tell you. It's about personal development. It's all about psychology. It's all about philosophy. It's about how we can work with our brain such that our brain will actually generate the right stimulus, to generate the right information such that we can manage better.
Yeah.
Is what I
Yeah.
Is what I call. So therefore, you can be successful in any business, not just energy, in anything, right? In relationship, in business, in personal life, everything. So this is what the second day will be about. You will be getting, note. We are going to give out handout. You will be able to equip with some exercise that you can day in, day out practice on and build a better you. Okay. I can tell you some statistic. I run this training for her very first Build Your Dream transformational training was actually held in Toronto, Canada. I was the one who actually organized it for her. So again, we did exactly the same format. We have the True Health workshop the Saturday. We had the transformational training second day. I can tell you what happens is that with Toronto, we find that more builders appear. And actually our numbers, right now, we already surpass New York office. Toronto office surpassed New York office. And imagine this. Yeah, imagine this. We also have people from Vancouver traveling all the way from Vancouver to Toronto to attend those 2 days events. And right now actually exceed LA office.
Wow.
So this is the statistic that you want to see. Again, it's a lot of time we receive tons of rejection with this business because the subject of water is just too new. It's just too undereducated. It's just too underrepresented, or it's just too underappreciated. Right? People just don't know that much. But also, it's because people don't know that much. That's why we believe that our market is so huge. But being an educator is always the ones who's going to make the most of wealth, right? Yeah. But it's not easy neither. You need to have a very strong mindset. You need to have a very strong psychology. You need to have a very strong strategy to execute it day in, day out. And this is what exactly that weekend we're going to do with you. I'm going to share with you some facts. Joan is going to share with you some strategy. And and whereas Tammy is going to share with you some blueprint, how about millionaire's blueprint, right? And so this is something that I think is totally worth it. You'll be hearing from Tammy in particular. She has been in the network marketing industry for over 20 something years now. So she has only been involved with 3 network marketing companies.
Yeah.
To my understanding, 3. And so that's what she's going to share with us. And in network marketing, one of the things is that it's a people business, right? It's about how you can motivate, how you can encourage your team. So what you're going to get is that you're not just going to get facts and skills. You're also going to be getting strategies. So therefore, you can use it to work on yourself. You can use it to work on your prospect, and you can even use it to work on your team. I think that's very important. But you know what? This is what I also realize is that for me, usually when I do event, I highly encourage my team to come, right? Otherwise, why am I doing it? Isn't it? Exactly. For Kelly, Kelly is doing the event. It does not make sense that if Kelly's team is not there, right? We as an organizer will put the most efforts to it. And whereas our team is not benefiting it, there's no way. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So usually you'll find that whenever I'm doing an event, at least more than 25% is my team. And that's how we can self-function. People always ask us, why do you think an event's needed? How come we cannot just do a small circle thing, right? It's because when we're doing an event, our team will feel the energy and we feel the impact. See, the thing is that this business, there's no competition. The only competition is us. We just need to compete with ourselves.
Yeah, so true.
Right? Mm-hmm. And the whole thing is that by being able to network with people with the same mindset, we're able to learn from each other. That's why I love to do events, and that's why I love to attend events. Because even though I'm sure that Kelly, you and I have done so many demos, but each single time when I watch other people's demo, does not matter how many years the person has done it, I have been doing energy, I still learn something.
Mm.
Something. Because their perspective is so different.
Yeah.
And when they talk about business compensation plan, it's also so different because each person have different perspective. By learning different people's perspective, it enable us to have better strategies to talk with different people. One thing that I learned hard is that, as I mentioned, I came from business background. I managed my own business, my family business. I've come from a marketing background. I come from a fundraising background. One of the questions that I'm not sure if Kelly, you got this question all the time is that how do we handle rejection? Right? We got rejection all the time, right? So rejection is one of the things that people hate and people don't like, right? And rejection is usually what turns off our team. To pause them, not to move, or even, I don't want to do it anymore. Something is always like this. Now, if we dissect rejection, the term slightly, you may see a little bit differently. Understand, I want everybody to understand that rejection is just an emotional term. First of all, let's remove the emotion part. It's just called rejection.
Yeah.
No emotion of it.
Yeah.
The reason that we have negative emotion is because this is how our brain functions. Our brain was designed to protect us. Wouldn't you agree? Our brain is designed to protect us. Whenever there's something that's going to hurt us, whether emotionally or physically or psychologically, it's going to send out a signal telling you that don't do it. Yeah. Don't go further because it's going to hurt you. Let me give a very simple example that Tony Robbins always use, right? When you see fire, you know that you shouldn't get close to it because you know that it's going to burn you. Now, let me ask you a question. Have anybody ever tried it and see if it will really burn you?
No.
Because you won't touch the fire because you were told that you were educated when we were young that it's going to hurt you. Right?
Yeah.
But does that really hurt you? Well, you have to understand how fire works. First of all, fire have a tipping point. If you touch a tipping point, you're not going to get hurt. Okay, there's a certain time that you can stay there. If you just go quick, you're not going to get hurt. Okay, understand that. And also understand that how the fire was being created, it also make a difference. So therefore, there's a lot of there's a lot of facts that we were told and we never testified it.
Yeah.
But yet, we, as human beings, our brain will tell you that, hey, don't get close to the fire because you're going to get burned, you're going to get hurt, you're going to get injury. This is what we're told. This is how we were educated. Same thing, rejection, negative impact. A lot of time when people say no to you, it does not mean that it's a no. Understand that no representing that it's not for me at this moment for multiple reasons. Right now, I'm busy. Right now, at this moment, I don't have time to consider it. I haven't got time to read those information. And I haven't seen how it can correlate with me yet. Basically, this is how it is all about. This is what no and this is how no and rejection is all about. Okay? So when you understand what rejection is, it's really just a term. They shouldn't have emotions to it. Then I can tell you that the more rejection that you welcome, the more successful you're going to get.
Yeah, and it's not being attached to the outcome. Like now I talk to people and I detach from that now. It's like, oh, if they, it's just a shame they're missing out. Next person, I really, Yeah, and the whole thing is that, like, for me, this is a funny thing. I got rejected a lot of time even though I'm in the water industry or even though in other industry. In particular, I mentioned I was I was a fundraising director. Okay. And then
honestly, supporting a charity is a good cause, isn't it? It's a good will. We got rejection all the time. All the time, I'm telling you. Even though it's for good purpose, people know that you're helping a community to build a better world, people still reject you. So it does not matter whether it's water or a charity or a good cause or whatever.
It's just
that they reject not because they don't like you, don't take it personally. It's not because they don't like your cause. It's just that it's not for them at that moment. But you know what? At the moment, it could only be a few minutes. So maybe next day when you talk to them again, they try to qualify. If you give them enough reasoning, they try to qualify it. The rejection will get toned down, so-called. The no will get toned down. The no is just for that moment, right? So that's something that I learned when I was in fundraising industry, is that like that no is just for that moment. It's just that we give them more information to qualify it, not justify, qualify it, so whichever justification will be gone. So those are just something that I learned hard from Tamia and from the people that I interact with. And I can tell you why. That's just to sharing that one tips with you. I believe if I can share like this, imagine what Tamia can do for all of us.
Oh, yeah. So excited. We're all really excited to meet her and yourself, of course. So, yeah, really looking forward to next month and meeting a lot of our team who I haven't met in person too. So that's going to be
okay
as well. Yeah. Because some people are coming from Australia as well, and from all around the place. So, yeah, I know Jax had a question for you. Wanted to know how long you've been a water Somali.
Water Somali.
Water
Somali. Right now, I got my destination last year in November. Yeah. Because it's a very new profession that, as I mentioned, in terms of like majority of us is actually based in Europe and Germany, and this is a funny thing. The reason that I researched about this course is because of another water Somali. It has something to do with energy. It's around 2 years ago. I was telling someone who is a tea master, who actually teach about tea culture, Chinese tea culture in college and university here in Canada. So I told her about how amazing the water is, right? And she decided to research about it, and she came across someone by the name of Martin Rees. He was the only water Somali in U.S. He was German. Okay, he was from Germany. So this tea master lady actually emailed her to reach out to him and ask, so what do you think of Kangen? That water Somali actually told this tea master that Kangen is only a gimmick. It's not the real thing.
What?
Seriously. And that's the time that I said, no way, I have to correct him. And he couldn't say it when he does not have the background, when he does not have the facts. So that's the day when I start to research about, okay, I need to be one. What is a water Somali, right? So I researched about it and I figured out he got his destination from Mineral Water Association. And I decided to go for the institution route. So therefore I actually went to a school near Munich in Germany to study about water. This school is called Dolmens. Everybody can actually, if you go to my website, you're able to learn more about the school. This school is called Dolmens. This school starting off initially to teach people how to make beer. Right, Germany is very big on all kind of beer, right? And beer is basically the base of that is water.
Yeah.
So around 9 years ago, they start off doing the first water Somali course. In the first 6 years, they just focus only on the Europe country. In particular, just taught that in Germany. In German, but not in English. It's only around 2 years ago they start to offer this course in English. So I'm actually the second international class that was graduated, and they only do it in a small group of people because they want to make sure that everyone understands it. And then there we need to really sample lots of water. We need to be able to detect with our taste but what kind of minerals in the water, which is the dominated mineral. And we usually call it, if you heard about it, it's called TDS. We need to know what's the TDS of the natural mineral water. We need to know whether it's calcium-based, magnesium-based, sodium-based, hydrogen carbonate based, or whatsoever. We need to detect what's the carbonation level just through our taste bud. We need to figure out how are we going to pair this water with food, how we are going to pair it with different people's health syndrome. Last that we know, in Europe, there's really something called healing water. It's available in store. It's available in store. It's a very high mineral content type water, but all of the natural mineral water is being called natural mineral water is because they're really being, craft and being harvested, I call, from the natural spring. If it's not from a natural spring, they couldn't be called natural mineral water. They need to call it table water. So therefore, it's a specific label, just like wine. they have to be produced in a certain spring. They have to be produced in a certain method.
Yeah.
This is how sophisticated, European water is all about.
Yeah.
And it's very
interesting. Yeah. Yeah. So everyone you did the course with, have they all got Kangen machines?
No, actually, you know what? It's not at all. It's a lot of education need to be done, because this is why I said hydrogen water is the next big thing. Because a lot of people, in particular in Europe, they have no clue what hydrogen water is all about.
Wow.
And I'm actually talking with the dean of this course, like with the head professor of this course, and we are trying to put in the component hydrogen into the syllabus. We're trying to put in the ERW, electrolyzed reduced water, into the syllabus. But for them, it's still brand new. But if we detour this a little bit, if we talk about structured water. Okay, you know how we always talk about the intention of the water makes a huge difference? We're always talking about energy in the water makes a huge difference. People just don't know one thing. In Europe, in particular, there's something called full moon water.
What's it called?
Full moon water. It's water being harvested at the night of full moon.
Oh, wow.
And the energy is totally different. The structure is totally different. See, this is the thing about nature that we don't know. And it's more expensive too.
Yeah. Wow, very interesting.
It's very interesting when we talk about it, and when we just go further into it, it's a little bit different. So there's another question, is that what is a sommelier, right?
Yes.
Okay, what's a sommelier? Sommelier is basically a connoisseur. So initially, this term starting off in the wine industry. For wine sommelier, what we do is that as a wine sommelier is that we will do wine and food pairing. We'll need to understand the quality and the characters of the wine, such that we can actually and we should be able to detect what's a good wine, what's a bad wine when it's changed. So therefore, it's all about in the restaurant industry. We need to know how the wine's being made and processed and stuff like that. So when we are water version of it, exactly the same thing. But for me, I actually give it a little bit twist to it as well. I also study a lot about what's the current water pollution, because the very first thing that we study about water when we went to study that course, the water sommelier course, is that first thing we talk about is pollution. How can we stop the pollution? What can we do better such that the pollution is lessened? Because agriculture actually is cause 90% of the pollution in our world right now. Agriculture.
Right. Yeah.
So 90% more. So what can we do, and how can we do better? This is something that we also talk about day in, day out. And what can we educate people to appreciate the natural resources? This is also something we talk about as well as a water sommelier. So therefore, for me, it's different, right? Because when you practice in different regions, different. If I practice my profession in Europe, the way that I would do will be totally different than in North America. Because in Europe, I can tell you that in Europe, there's over 300 different kind of natural mineral water in the market. Over 300. So we can do a lot of flexibility in terms of that. And, in particular, in Europe, in Germany, a bottled water, 750 milliliters, is only 75 cents euro. So cheap, right? But yet in Canada, in North America, it's way more expensive. And that's why I said that when I practice this profession in North America, we need to do it slightly different. First of all, we don't have access to that many quality natural mineral water. And second of all is that the bottled water that we have here is all processed through either purified, through with additive. It's not natural. So therefore, we have to understand where we putting ourselves into. So it's very different. And then for my friends, for my colleagues, when they're practicing this in Asia, in particular in Singapore, in Hong Kong, in China, in Taiwan, the way that they take is slightly different, because the people who consume quality bottled water is another notch. They wouldn't mind the big bucks. They wouldn't mind the high price tag, and they would just sample it.
Yeah.
Right. So therefore, in different area, we will practice it differently, but still it's just for one reason, is that we want to make sure that people appreciate water, people understand water, and people really get to utilize I call the biggest commodities on earth right now.
Mhm.
And really appreciate it and really try to do lessen the pollution such that we're doing better for our future generations.
Yeah. So, so over in Canada, do you have fluoridation in your water, chlorination and all that as well? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's getting worse and worse.
Yeah, same here. Same here in New Zealand. I mean, we've always been known to be clean, green, and everything else. It'll be really interesting when you get to see our water actually here.
Mm-hmm.
Be really interesting to see what you think of it. So as well.
It's quite interesting. You notice that, Kelly, when I arrive in New Zealand, what I would do is that the first thing that I will usually need to do is that I would go to the supermarket to get the bottled water that I want. I would probably taste it myself. And so therefore I can understand what's the water going on in New Zealand.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
that would be.
when you see, the thing is that this is how I see it. In order for us to do better in energy business, it's very important for us to understand the water market, what's going on out there in your local market. So therefore, when you understand the local market, then you have the right language to communicate with your prospect, with the people around you, right? Because bottled water is an easier way to go in. Lots of people are already consuming it anyways because they want an easy way, easy out. They want convenience, right? But how can we put their mindset in a few sentences such that they will say, haha, maybe I should look into this.
Yeah.
And I guess this is why Kelly bring Tammy and bring me there to New Zealand. It's just that to give everybody a new perspective, such that you have another set of nooks. So you equip you armor yourself with more knowledge, with more tactics, such that you can actually fight better to the market. I call it that it's a hard battle. I can tell you that, but I can also assure you one thing, that energetic Kangen water device will be the future fifth home appliance.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
And how? It has to be. No choice, right?
Yeah. We'll have to have a talk with you when you're here, because obviously for us in New Zealand, we've got a few issues going on with our water, and we've got like a horrible poison drop that's going on called 1080.
Really?
Yeah, I might send you a link or something to have a look at that, because a big question has been lately, if that gets into our waterways, it's going to be.
Okay, now what does the government do with that thing?
Oh, they're allowing it at the moment, so it's not. It's diabolical at the moment. I'll see what I can find and send it to you, because I don't know if our machines, from what I can gather with our machines, it can't deal with that. So I don't. When I talked to the technician, he was saying that for something like that, maybe the microns are too large or something.
Now understand.
Small.
Okay. In that case, a few things that you may want to look into that will actually help you to dissect it. This is how I see it. You know that our filter can actually remove microplastic, right?
Sorry, our filter can remove
microplastic.
Right. Okay. Oh.
Okay. Which is the fact. The reason is happening if for our WQA goes through the filter that's in the machine, the technician is not going to tell you that, but it's just common sense and logic. Because the thing is that microplastic is usually 0.5, I believe, 0.5 ppm, something like that.
Yep.
And as our filter is 0.3, I think. I will need to look into that number, but I know that our filter is so refined that it can actually block off the microplastic. That I know.
Okay. Be interesting to know what the 1080 is then, like per ppm.
Let me find out. And another thing they can look into is that the charge of the water. The charge of the ions. Now, for fluoride, you know that our filter cannot remove fluoride, right?
Yeah, that's right.
I shouldn't make a statement. It cannot remove 100% of all of
it. Yeah, all of it. Yeah.
It will remove 90-something%, right? So that and honestly, fluoride is a very tricky substance. The only way they can remove it is to use a reverse osmosis system, which is impossible, right?
Yeah.
So now here's the interesting thing. Kelly, you remember the charge of the water that we drink is negative charge, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know that for our filter, it will remove or it will remain 4 natural minerals in the tap water: calcium, potassium, magnesium, sodium, right?
Yeah.
And all of these 4 minerals, they're actually positive ions.
Yep.
Okay, so what happens is that, so it will go through the filter, it's going to go to our electrolyzer plate, it's going to create that hydrogen gas, it's going to be negative charge, right? But because the water that we're drinking is negative charge, so we have that positive ion sticking with the negative charge. So that's why when you're drinking it, you're also getting calcium, potassium, magnesium, sodium.
Right.
So negative and positive stick. Now, here's a funny thing. Fluoride ion, when you research about it, it's actually negative charge. We just research fluoride, check and see what is the charge of the fluoride ion.
Okay.
So
It's a
negative and negative repel.
Okay.
So
Okay.
Your drinking water will have the fluoride there. Common sense, common knowledge. I always tell people, common sense is rarely common practice.
Yeah.
Common
Interesting.
sense.
And then I've had other people say, well, fluoride ions are, you know, it's acidic, it's not good, it's a positive ion, you know, most of it's going down the acidic hose. So
yep.
that's another, yeah.
Honestly, you won't get hurt with fluoride. With our filter does its job, you're not going to get hurt. Reason being is because you will get hurt more when you're using a toothpaste with fluoride in it.
Yeah, right. For the amounts after what's left.
The amount, right? Actually, we consume more fluoride when we're using fluoride toothpaste.
Okay. Yeah.
And people just don't read the label. They did have a caution. They do have a special note saying that, you know what, don't overconsume the toothpaste.
Oh, I know. It actually says it on there. No one even thinks twice about it. Yeah.
That's why
you research about Kangen water first.
Yes, they do. See, the thing is that common sense is not common knowledge, right? Common sense is not common practice. They know about it and they don't practice on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
That's right.
This is an interesting thing, right?
Yeah. So when you can actually make it, yeah, it's having that kind of knowledge and being able to make it really clear for people that it's, you know, that it becomes common sense. That's right.
That's right. And the thing is that the reason that I love to justify it based on common sense is because when I try to communicate with people with different facts like this, when I'm just talking about common sense, they don't feel challenged. They don't feel that, oh, am I stupid now, kind of thing. In that case, whenever they don't feel good, they first of all, again, our brain will give a rejection to them. We'll give the protection, right? So the first thing that is that the person is going to step back, saying that I don't want to listen more, right? So when I'm using common sense, when I'm practicing common sense, they will say, "Hey, I know about that. It's just I forgot about it."
Yeah.
So it's just a philosophy of psychology that we're trying to play on with people when we're communicating them, when we're communicating about water. So it's quite interesting in terms of like how we can. People is interesting. Put it that way.
Yeah, they are.
They're very interesting.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Has anyone got any questions for Christina? Well, we've been lucky enough to have her on here. Otherwise,
no question?
No questions? Yeah, I will send you some info about that 1080 because that would be really interesting. Because it's a big concern here.
1080 is the what you're mentioning about?
As the poison, yeah. So
send it to me. I'll do a little bit of research. I'll get some of my friend who is actually in the Water Quality Association to do a little bit of research for me. Yeah,
that'll be great. That'd be really, really good. Otherwise, it'd be great if, I know you were talking maybe being able to get Tamia, I don't know whether on a call or that before.
Yes, I will actually, she's actually right now in Arizona, and then she's doing she has just finished her True Health workshop in Arizona, and she has another one on Sunday. So I'm going to chat with her after the weekend to see if we can schedule a call maybe next week.
Yep, great. That'd be fantastic.
This week, I do want to get her to do a promo for you guys, so therefore you can post it up in your group. And next week you can post it out to the public. And I know that you're doing something very special for your team because you want to make sure that they're able to get tickets first, right? Yeah. So therefore you're not releasing to the public until later. Yeah,
that's right. I'm just being selfish and saying I want more than 25% of our team there.
Oh, come on. But the whole thing is that this is how I see it. I always have that mindset when I first organized the first event. But then I figure out, hey, you know what? If more people are standardizing the message out there, our job will also be easier too, right? So you know what? Usually I would suggest people, yeah, I would prefer majority of that is my team, but you know, I still open it up such that like it's good for everybody. But you know what, guys, take the advantage of what you're getting right now. If she's giving you guys the privilege to be the first group of people who's getting that ticket.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. And we're starting to get tickets in, and we need to get some more in. But we'll do that. And very excited. I've ordered a few things and bits and pieces for that weekend. So we've got something very special for you guys. Thanks to Manawa and Linda and everyone organising that. Absolutely fantastic. Not saying what it is, but it's a surprise.
Oh, okay. And I saw that Linda actually have a question, right? What is the procedure to be a trainer? Right?
Oh, what is the procedure to be a trainer, Kelly? I have a question about this.
Okay. The trainer. Okay. Do you guys know what is a certified trainer, though?
Sorry, do we have?
You know what is a certified trainer?
Yes, but I don't know if we've got access to that. I haven't really been given any. Yeah, because of course there's people within our team that would love to be that.
All right. A certified trainer's training is actually a special training. Whoever that got certified is going to get a badge like this. See that?
Yep, nice.
Okay. It's a very nice badge. It's actually a gold plate. The diamond is real. This is just the badge itself. It actually costs NRJ. Let me think. It costs NRJ around 500 USD to make one.
Wow.
This is a 5 diamond. This is a master trainer badge, and the next level down is actually senior trainer badge. It's 2 diamond down, and whoever that attend, if you qualify, you're going to get a certified trainer badge, which is no diamond but all gold. Okay, and then you can level up, right? So I got my certified master trainer, and Tamir badge is very different. When she comes around, make sure that you take a look at it, because her badge now see my badge. I have 5 diamonds, right? Her badge have 24 diamonds.
Really? 20?
Yeah. Her badge is actually, I think it's around $2,000. And she got the badge. I saw how she got it. Her badge was actually given by Mr. Izobe, who is actually president of NRJ Education. Okay. Right now, currently, he's just facilitating a certified trainers training course in Germany. Right now, this is the first time that he's doing it in Europe. He used to just run it for North America. Okay, it's a 4-day training course, and what you're going to get is something about psychology, personal development, and a little bit about NRJ. You won't be trained on how to do the demo. You won't be trained on how to communicate a compensation plan, but you will be trained on how to get yourself better. Because each of us do have history. And the history actually shape us into who we are today. And actually the history also shape us in terms of like what we'll say yes and what we'll say no, what will make us hesitant, or what will make us procrastinate, what will make us actually prolong or overcome easy. So therefore, that certified trainers training is all about psychology and philosophy training, how we can use this exercise, to get our internal wound that was hurt back then when we were young, or when we got hurt before, and help us to do self-healing. And actually, this is what, quote unquote, this is what Tamia said. Tamia said is that she has attended, because she has a very rough past, very rough, okay? Her past is very dramatic, put it that way. She said that she has spent so much money to try to take care of herself, to try to get the wound healed. She attended Les Brown, she attended all those, but nothing can be compared with Mr. Isobe's training.
Really?
Nothing. It's a mind shift. It's this way more. To me, this training is very, very unique, because I can tell you that, just to give you a little piece of it, it actually saved my life.
Wow.
Yeah, around 2.5, 3 years ago, I was actually in my low point in my life. I almost want to end my life. I was in depression and all those things. And actually, one of my last wishes that I would love to get this batch, not the one with diamond, just want to attend this batch. I thought it's just any NRJ training. So I fly down to New York to attend this training all by myself. And my plan was that after I attend this training, I'll come back. That's it. I'm done. Right? That was the plan. I was even telling one of my close friends where was my insurance policy. It was that bad. Okay. Anyways, that training actually shifted me into a brand new person. I came back to become a new person. I was 6A because you have to be 6A before you can enter this training. Okay, unless they give you special exception. Okay, and after I come back, become a brand new person, I decide to really do it full in for Energic. And around 3 months, I become 6A2. And then another 6 months, I become 6A2-2. It's all about the mindset and the training and stuff like that. So this is what the certified trainers training about. Is usually facilitated by Mr. Isobe. The reason that Tamir got the 24 diamond is that, as I mentioned, Mr. Isobe is around 73 years old. One day he will retire. He will retire, right? So therefore he has already designated Tamir will be the person who is going to take over that job. That's why he got that badge. She got that badge.
Yeah.
The badge was initially won by Mr. Isobe. Yeah.
That sounds awesome. I'm thinking, that could be something that we look at because there's going to be a lot more 6As soon as well. And it'd be fantastic to get a group of us here and see whether they would come here to do that training for us.
You know what? This is something that organized by Energy. I can tell you more about it when we meet.
Yes. That'd be a neat thing to talk about because that's something to shoot for, This
is something that you need to arrange through Energic office.
Yeah.
We can talk about it. They do have minimum requirement for me to get Mrs. Isobe here. I need to commit for a minimum requirement of 60 participants, 60 people.
Yeah.
60. That's the minimum.
Oh, how many?
No, 60.
Oh gosh, come on, team! We've got to get to work.
60. And the cost and when they were doing it in North America, the price tag is $1,000 USD for 4 days.
Yep.
4 full days. This is how they did it. So therefore, like if you want to arrange one, we can certainly try to hook you up and have that arranged.
Yes, definitely. Okay, we need 66 A's. Let's go, team. Let's go. After the event, no worries.
Yep. I'm sure. I personally, I had in my team, I have around 12 people that's certified as a certified trainer.
Fabulous. Yep.
You know what? That badge means something to somebody. It's not just a training. Imagine when you go out to talk to a prospect and you have this badge wearing on your suit or jacket. What do you think they would think? Oh God! You know this badge is actually bigger than a 6A badge, right?
Yeah, it looks it. I can tell by your fingernail. I was like, mine's about the fingernail.
and this is big, huge, right? And you'll see it when I come. Make sure that you take a look at Tamir's. Is 24.
Yeah, well, all those diamonds. Good golly. Mm-hmm. That's exciting.
Yep.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the thing. It could be here or it could be in Australia because there's a lot of 6As over there. So as well.
I'm sure that this can be taken place. It doesn't matter. Like
definitely. We'll talk about that more next month with you and Tamia.
Yeah, that's right. We can possibly get it going. Okay, cool. I hope that everybody gets some information that you need, and I highly recommend that everybody to attend the 24th and the 25th events because I think it will be a game changer for everybody. I believe the more people of your team can come in, the better 2019 you're going to get. Yeah. Because you're already setting the mind and tone so right. So it's autopilot then. Right? It's autopilot. And get them to sense the energy and see, some of the big people join is amazing. And Tammy is super amazing. What's better than that?
Oh, yeah, exactly. No, it's going to be amazing. Thank you so much.
Hey, Christine, just before you do disappear, I'm Linda. I just want to firstly thank you very much for sharing this afternoon with us. And I'm very taken by Tamia's back history and yours, depression. Thank you for sharing that. That's got to, because we all have that. We all have that. A lot of us in this group have that story. So yeah, I'm one of them, and I've just been so blessed with Kangen water. I can go buy $7 mangoes now. You know, I could never do that before. Like, no way am I going to buy a mango for $7. I can even ring up and book my flight to go to Aussie without having to steal my partner's credit card or scab off my son. So it's a great journey, and it was good listening to your story and explaining a bit of Tamia's. There's a bit of that in every one of these girls. Absolutely. So it's a great joy of wanting to be 6As. So that's my new journey now. After the 25th, that's my journey, is to create. I'm going to buy me a factory to create 6As. Manufacture 6As.
That's it.
Okay. So
you guys will be coming to train us.
Sure. Linda, what's your current rank? What was your current rank?
6A.
Okay. So when are you going to be a 6A too?
Hopefully by Christmas, but Christmas.
How far are you?
A little bit far, but things seems to be happening now. So the team are working now. You know, it was hard to get the team to see that light at the end of the tunnel. So now they're starting to see the light. So they're all recruiting now.
Okay.
So before that, it was just a few of us.
Right. One size completed for you for your 6A2. If you don't mind,
I just need one more, and I'll be 6A2.
Okay. All right. One thing that actually made me build the whole thing faster is because of Ukon.
Yeah. So Christina's going to do a really neat thing for us in November on that too, which will be fantastic.
You know what? Since we're talking about this, because I do want to get everybody to understand that Ukon is a very amazing product. People often oversee and forgot about it. But when we do team building, it makes so much sense when we're using Ukon to be one of our strategy to build 6A2 and beyond. Because all of us know that Ukon is not just a supplement. First of all, it's a very amazing supplement. Okay, because the thing is that, like, it is one of the best. I call it. You can never get any supplement product that you can directly order from the farm. This is exactly it. You can order from the farm because we are the one who, Enagic is the one who actually grow this thing, right? And you can rarely get quality as good as this. And I'm going to paste a YouTube link there. This Ukon presentation is done by one of my very good friends. Her name's Antonina. If you follow my Facebook, you see that I do quite a lot of Facebook Live with her when she was around. She's actually a holistic nutritionist. She also teaches preventive disease in the School of Institution of Holistic Nutrition in Vancouver. Okay, so she and I talk about a lot about health, and not just about Kangen, but about health. So recently, when we did an event in Toronto in August, I asked her to study further on hydrogen. Okay, so she's the very first groundbreaking person who actually really mapped hydrogen with Kangen. That I'm going to share a little bit of that with you when I'm coming to New Zealand. But in terms of Ukon, I know that the YouTube that I just sent over, do take a look at it. It's only 15 minutes. It will tell you how amazing our product is, and you know what? Use that to ride on, and use that for your strategy to build your organization. Yes, the commission is a little bit lower, but it makes very huge sense if we use that, if we write on that product as well to build on strategy. Because in terms of strategy wise, we all know that there's something called SP points, right? And the SP point, we're not going to get SP point if we don't have direct sales after 3 months, right? But with Ukon, say for example, you have a machine account. If you have an Ukon right there, in that case, both of your account, because it has renewal, both of your account will be qualified for the SP point as long as you renew your Ukon, right? So that's one of the great things. It also contributes to our sales volume. It also contributes to our unit count. It also, if you have an Ukon account, then whoever that under you get Ukon, you also get it, right? And for myself, I can share with you one thing is that when I first started, I do have a few tokere because I believe this business shouldn't isolate anybody. If you believe in passion, you believe in water, it's just that your time is not ready yet. It does not mean that you cannot promote the health and water. But once Wukong came along, because we all know that whenever we do Togre, there's always there's a handicap, because the person is not going to get the person is not going to get SP. The person will only get a portion of the commission, right? So therefore, instead of getting Togre, for whoever that couldn't at the very moment afford the machine yet, they actually will get an Wukong in installment. So therefore, they qualify for the full machine commission and for the full Wukong commission. And they also have a product, because every renewal is 10 small boxes. They also have product they can resell. We cannot resell a machine, but we can resell Wukong. Understand that?
Yeah.
Right? So this is something that is worth to look at, I believe. And that's one of the strategies that I apply to the Toronto community and to my team. That's why the sales is coming up.
Okay.
Quite interesting. So I believe there will be more. I always tell people 682 is the minimum level that you should hit, but not 68. 682.
Yeah. Building to 682, hey? Yeah.
Yeah, and you know that lady that you're talking about, her demo video is what I used for my team to really get their teeth into Kangen water and the demo. So part of the demo, and then she explains why that happens. Because a lot of us sort of, we're not nowhere near scientists or anything, we didn't even know what molecular hydrogen was. So we're learning. So I use her video, and I ask my team to watch it and learn it.
I can tell you one more thing. In the production, in the making up, very soon, within the next week or so, I'm going to release, because we already did it. I already did it with Antonina. We filmed actually a 15-minute short version of the video, of a demo video with her.
Oh, good.
So we're going to share with everybody. And I just typed in the www.9.5.ca. It's a website that you guys can utilize. It's a website that I built for the Canadian community. But actually, I collect all the demo video there. Most of the demo video that I think is beneficial. And over there, you also see the doctor testimonial. You also see the media. You also see other stuff. The reason that I create websites instead of sending people to YouTube is because you and I know that whenever we send people to YouTube, they are going to also get some other videos that we don't want them to see.
Yeah.
So therefore, that's why I built this website such that people do not need to detour to other video.
Okay, great.
And in that website, I also collect international language demo, international like multilingual demo. So therefore, you will see video, you see demo video that's in, I don't know, in Thai, in Cantonese, obviously, that's done by me, in Chinese, in French, in Italian, in Spanish, in Germany. So therefore, you're able to see that in that website. Feel free to utilize it. There's no charge whatsoever. It's for everybody.
Okay, great. And what's your website, Christina?
My website? My own website?
Yeah, your one, your personal one you were saying before.
watersomali.ca, and my Facebook name. My Facebook name is Christina Li. My Instagram, my IG handle. My IG handle is cli.watersomali. Okay, so those are the ways so you can find me.
Yep, perfect.
Sure.
Okay.
Excellent.
Thanks for that.
That's so great.
That's some homework for our team to do.
Yeah, always learning, eh?
Yeah.
We learn from each other. This is the amazing thing.
That's what I love about this. And it doesn't matter whose teams, like you guys coming over, you're not part of our team, but you're coming over here to do this. I mean, it's just phenomenal. So, we've all got something to learn, eh?
That's right.
So
I'm making something special. I'll see if I can bring a few things over for the people who's attending the weekend. I may have some special gift for you guys. Very
nice.
Yeah.
I'll have to go and look for a gift for you now, Christine.
No need. But what's the best gift I can ever ask for you guys to do is that to help to promote this event, help to pack the room up.
Yes.
We love to see the room packed. For all the events that are organized in Toronto, is all sold out. Always a sold out. So therefore, let's duplicate and make it happen in New Zealand to show another community that New Zealand is not just a small country, but it has movement there.
Yeah.
You can dominate it, right? So help me to pack up the room with the best gift that I can ever ask for.
We're trying very hard, and it's going to happen.
It will be packed.
It is going to happen.
It will be packed.
Excellent.
Put the intention out there.
Excellent.
Yep.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Oh, amazing.
Oh.
So you know what any other question you have for me?
No, I think we're all good.
Good.
Thank
Amazing.
you, everyone. Thank you, Christina. Thank you, everyone, for jumping on today.
Pleasure.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. And I'm sure we're catching up again before November anyway.
Oh,
and
sure.
Thank you for your hard work and putting this all together. And let's get your tickets booked this week.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Let's do that. So so you know what? Let's hit that. Let's try to see if we can pull together at least 150 tickets by the end of this month, and your help will be needed. You know what? Try to share. The promo on your social media so that everybody know that you're making something big. I always tell people when you're promoting events, it's not just like you're bringing people in. It's also sharing with people who's on your social media, who's not a part of an energy community yet, and such that they know you are doing something big. They will no longer criticize you, right? Because the more they see you doing something different, the more they're going to say, haha, what is this person doing? This sounds interesting. This sounds amazing. Maybe I should give a second thought. Maybe it's not what I feel. Maybe it's not what I thought, right? So therefore, by sharing the event out is another thing that you can do. And I always encourage people to do another thing is that based on this event, send out invitation, personal invitation with a video. Could be a Facebook video, could be a personal video, record it and, send it out to your friends, telling them that, hey, you know what, I really want to invite you, or even to your team, you know what, let's do something different this round. Let's do a groundbreaking thing. You know what, let's rise together. This is what I always tell people. Use the event not just for the event. Use the event promotion to show people around you who is not in your field, who is not in your community, that to arouse the interest.
Yeah. Yep. After Monday the 22nd, we're going to do that. Yeah. I've given the team up to Monday 22nd for us, just us only, and then we'll definitely open it up. I was just talking to a friend the other day who got introduced to network marketing a few years ago, and she said she had absolutely no money, like no money whatsoever. She said, but she knew she had to get to this event. So she managed to scrounge up enough money just to be able to get this ticket to get to the event. Her and her brother went, and she said they had no money to spend on any food, no accommodation. They slept in their car. They went to this 2-day event, and she said it completely changed her life, like completely changed her life. Yep. And from there, of course, she's moved on. And I thought, if you've got to sit in your car, I mean, you hear of Tony Robbins, all of those people doing things like that just to be able to get to where they need to get to, So, I don't want people to think that, money's an excuse and you can't get there. And if you set the intention, you can get there and anyone else can, as long as they see the worth and the power behind it.
Exactly. You know what? When you feel that you don't have enough money, when you keep reminding yourself, you won't have any money. When you feel that you're abundant, this is one of the tips that I learned hard from Tamia, from Mr. Isobe, is that the more that you love about yourself, the more that you love about money. I know that money is not everything, but money will help us to amplify our mission, will help us to amplify what we want to do, what we can do. Okay.
Oh, yeah. It's pretty hard to help people when you're poor. It really is. And I always liken Enagic to have opened up so many things and being able to help our whānau our family get machines and things. If it wasn't for that, then we wouldn't have been able to do that. So there's all that as well. So yes, okay, everybody. Well, want to wish you the best week coming forward, and thank you, Christina, for your time. It's past midnight now. You haven't turned into a pumpkin, so that's good.
We're working on a global business, so the time is not a matter.
That's right.
We still need to sleep. I can tell you that, because we are the product of the product, right?
That's right. I've been slipping around here, and it's like, I just need 6 hours, and I'm happy. 6 hours sleep.
That's right. We are the product of the product. The healthier we look, the more positive we are, is how we can attract the right people to come to us. right?
Absolutely. So true. Absolutely so true. Thank you,
All right.
Christina, and thank you everyone for clicking on. I'll stop the recording now and